Hello YouTube, this is Jonathan from MVS Media, and today I got a few updates for you and a Photoshop tutorial. The updates are that MVS Gaming or MVS HQ, whatever you know it as, we have not uploaded anything to the channel recently, but I knew a few people that I can get some Gears of War clips from, Gears 2 and Gears 3, and I'm going to get some clips from them and I'm going to edit them. I'm going to upload kind of just like an editing thing for that, and maybe I'll edit a friend's Gears of War clips for him. I'm not sure about that yet because his clips do not have sound, and I don't feel like replacing the sound for everything in it, if that's even possible. But yeah, that's the update for that. And also, you may notice I finally got an intro I think I'm going to stick with. It's with the new logo I made. And the tutorial that I'm going to do is going to be based on how to basically basically pen tool logos and get them in the right way you need without them having roughy edges or bumpy edges in Cinema 4D, and they actually look good when you put them in there. This is like I'd say a medium difficulty one to do. It's not really that hard to do, and this one is going to be really easy to do. This is a Robot's logo. I think I'm going to be entering his contest, and I don't know if you know him. He's like, I think he's got like 200 subscribers, but this is IVY8. He's only got 200. I think I might enter his contest as well. So I'm going to give you those two examples to do, and possibly, hold on, I'll show you some more difficult ways to cut out logos. Say you was to enter a contest and you found a video clip that you wanted to pen tool. You could take a ISO of this, zoom in, and pen tool out the logo of that. I'm not going to do this tutorial just because I think it would take way too long than what I wanted. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. Because in the Robots competition, he does not give his graffiti logo. I guess he don't want people to use it or whatnot, but I'm going to use it anyway. Just for the simple fact that I think I got a really good idea for it. So yeah, let's get into the tutorial. We're going to start out with the easiest one. We're going to start out with pentooling this, and I'm going to show you basically the easiest way to do it. A lot of people go and they pen tool around the logo itself, and then when they're done pen tooling it, they command click it and it makes this little thing, or they just go ahead and do it like that. And for easier logos, I guess it's okay, and then they just go to make work path and then do it like that. And that way is okay for easier logos like this, but when you're doing more complex logos, you cannot do it that way, otherwise it will have bumpy edges and it will not look good at all. So I'm going to show you both ways. For easier logo like this, you can just go make work path, and you need to do anywhere from 0.5 to 1. I'm just going to do 1 for now, and then you click enter, and then you go file, export, pass to Illustrator, and then you go work path, and then you can name it as whatever you want. I'm just going to name it as robot logo, and so saved that in the wrong folder, but it'll be okay, I can get it anyways. So then when you want to import it into Cinema 4D, you can just, I haven't opened Cinema 4D yet, so it might take a while to load. Let's wait for it to load here. And then you leave this the same depending on what you've pen tooled. Also, there's a few ways to extrude it. You can extrude it by path, or you can extrude the whole thing by getting an extrude nerd and taking all the paths and dragging them out. and then deleting this, and then take this and click where's connect, then you just delete these because you don't need them anymore, and then you can just drag the whole thing underneath. But if you're gonna do it that way, it does not look as good, I don't think, just depending, because your rotation is messed up. Not only that, you cannot edit the object by each path, which I like to do. So let's just go back, and then the way I like to do it is you just get the amount of extrude nubs for your path, so I'm gonna get 3, and then you drag each one. But before you do that, you want to make sure you center, I'm just going to group these real quick, you want to make sure you center them 0, 0, 0, because if you don't, the extrude NURBS can get messed up and it won't look as nearly as good as what it could be. So I center them like that, and I'm just going to drag these into the null object, and then go ahead and put them in there. And then you can mess around with your extrude NURBS and add fill caps and the depth of whatever you want. So there's that way. And now for the more difficult way of doing it. This way is more difficult, but most likely will get you the best outcome. You want to get your pen tool, and yes, you're going to have the pen tool over everything, but most of the times you will do that anyway. So you want to make sure you're in your paths layer, and then you want to go ahead and make a new path. And I'm not going to do this nearly as good as I normally would, because it would increase the time of the tutorial, and I don't want to do that. So you can hold shift to get your straight lines, and then click, and then just click, and then for each separated object you want to make a new path so you can edit them. And I might skip out this part depending. Actually, I think I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward this part. So actually, I don't know. I might just leave it, depending on how long the video tutorial is. There, I guess that's good. Even though I didn't really separate it the way I should have. And you notice that this object really doesn't have any curves, so it's really not as hard as it would be, but I did that on purpose. Because if I was gonna make an example of a really hard one, a pen tool, this tutorial would take forever. And then just there. And now when you're done, you just go to File, Export, Path to Illustrator, just like last time, but instead of choosing these, you're going to go to All Paths and then click OK. And then you can save it as whatever you want. Save. And now when you open it in Cinema 4D, you'll notice that there will be no roughy edges when you extrude it. Roughy edges. There will be no rough edges at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and get some extrude NURBS and drag them in here. And now if I zoom in, see, the edges are completely smooth. And this also works when, like this IBY8 dude did not at all give me a PSD for his logo, he just gave me an image. so which I'm gonna have to pen tool this out because you cannot use the magic wand tool to get it, just for the simple fact that it's not, well, I'll just show you. Go ahead and choose a black and then get this and this. See, it highlights the whole thing, but it's not going to be perfect. So if I go to right click, area copy, and now I drag it, you can tell the edges are completely rough, and there's also white along the edges, so when you export it into Cinema 4D, the edges will not look nice at all. So there's the problem with that. That's pretty much all for this tutorial. I can show you a few things you can do in Cinema 4D to make it look nicer. Really just depends on what project you're working on, but yeah. I like to go with 100 when I extrude a logo, just because I think it's the perfect depth, and if I want to do anything really. And so you can tell, even though I quickly cut it out, it looks really nice. And you can add your caps if you will like. I'd take it down to about 4, depending on the size. And then you can go into your light kit or whatever you want. And also, I'm going to show something that a lot of people don't know you can do in Cinema 4D. You normally get this object, and a lot of people think that you have to have like custom objects for you to be able to get a different thing rather than the sphere. But if you right click it, you can get your other stuff. Like a lot of people use the knot, not that knot of course, but like this one, or this one, or yeah, whatever. But recently a lot of people have really liked to use this one. This one is really popular right now, and a lot of people don't know that you can change this, and it really makes a huge difference when you're editing stuff and objects and whatnot. So I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Peace.